It is a beautiful morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Carnival Breakfast Show coming to you from Carnival Radio. And this is Newspaper Review. I am Joseph Oyo. Good morning and welcome once again. This morning on Newspaper Review, I came with different newspapers and each of them with interesting stories. I have the Punch with me, I have the Vanguard newspaper, I have the Post, and I have the Nation on the newspaper. And to begin the news in details, here are the headlines. Starting from the Punch newspaper, the federal government activates evacuation plan as Middle East crisis worsens. Onto the Nation newspaper, Kwakwanso condemns Maiduguri bombings, urges action against terrorists. Now, Vanguard newspaper, Maiduguri bombings, police confirm 23 dead, 108 injured. Here is another interesting headline from the Post newspaper. Shetima Obasanjo Jonathan expected at Soludo's second time inauguration. And on to another beautiful headline from the Portugal newspaper. Food inflation hit 12.12% as input costs soar. And now to the news and details from the Punch newspaper. Federal government activates evacuation plan as Middle East crisis worsens. The federal government on Monday said it is working out administrative procedures and the release of funds for the evacuation of Nigerians affected by the ongoing crisis in parts of the Middle East countries. The decision comes amid escalating tensions in the region, triggered by missile and drone attacks linked to Iran, which have raised security concerns across several Gulf nations. This follows continued military strikes by the United States and Israel against Iran on February 28. The spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kinlebi Ebiefa, told newsmen that arrangements for evacuation were ongoing. The update follows earlier concerns over the safety of Nigerians stranded in countries including Iran, Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and Qatar, among others, after regional hostilities disrupted flight and travel plans. Last week, the ministry told the newsmen that its immediate priority was Nigerians in the most vulnerable areas, particularly those in Iran and Israel, where the security situation has made evacuation more complicated. The ministry had explained that the evacuation process from Iran involves significant logistical challenges, including transporting stranded students from various universities to the Armenian border and meeting entry conditions set by Armenian authorities. For more details, please visit the Punch newspaper. Federal government activates evacuation plan as Middle East crisis worsens. On to another news from the Vanguard newspaper. Maiduguri bombings, police confirmed 23 dead and 108 injured. 23 persons have been confirmed dead, while 108 sustained varying degrees of injuries following bomb explosions that simultaneously rocked three locations in Maiduguri, Oyo State on Monday. Newsmen had earlier reported that the location included the post office flyover area, Maiduguri Monday Market, and the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. The spokesman for the Oyo State Police Command, ASP Nahum Daso, who confirmed the death toll in a statement on Tuesday, said the investigation was still ongoing to further ascertain the circumstances surrounding the incident. Daso said the following the incident, a combined team of police tactical unit, the military, and other security operatives was swiftly deployed to the affected areas. He also noted that the State Commissioner of Police, Nasiru Abdulmajid, visited the affected locations to conduct an on-the-spot assessment on the situation and evaluate ongoing response efforts. The said victims were promptly evacuated by emergency responders, including National Emergency Management Agency and the State Emergency Management Agency, to medical facilities where they were receiving treatment. The police spokesperson urged members of the public to remain calm, vigilant, and to promptly report any suspicious movement or object to the nearest security agency. This news was sourced from the Vanguard newspaper. Maiduguri bombings. Police confirmed 23 dead, 108 injured. From the Nation on the newspaper, still on the Maiduguri bombings, the former governor of Carnival State, Rabiu Kwankwanso, has expressed grief over the multiple suicide bombings in Maiduguri, Oyo State, which reportedly claimed 23 lives and left over 100 others injured. Kwankwanso, in a statement today, Tuesday, described the attacks as horrific and a setback to the peace recorded in the state in recent years. He warned that the recent attacks signaled a disturbing resurgence of terrorism in the northeast. The former governor called on the federal and state government to take urgent steps to address the security situation and support security agencies in tackling the threat. He also urged the authorities to provide the necessary resources and support required for security forces to effectively combat terrorist activities. Kwankwanso expressed sympathy with the victims and their families, as well as the people and government of Oyo State. This news was sourced from the Nation newspaper. Kwankwanso condemns Maiduguri bombings, urges action against terrorists. In the meantime, Vice President Kashim Shettima, former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, and Goodluck Jonathan are expected in Anambra State for the second-time inauguration of Governor Chukwuma Soludo. A source of the government house, Oka, confirmed this to the newsman today, Tuesday, adding that several dignitaries were expected at the ceremony holding at the newly renovated Alex Nkweme Square. Oka. Shettima is representing President Bola Tinubu at the event. The ceremony is expected to attract high-profile personalities, including head statesmen such as former Commonwealth Secretary General Chief Emeka Anyaoku, traditional rulers from the 179 communities in the state, as well as monarchs from other parts of the country are also expected to attend. The streets of Oka have been enlivened ahead of the event, with residents and visitors celebrating the governor, who has pledged to consolidate on his developmental strides and tackle insecurity during his second term. The governor and his deputy had on Sunday marked the end of their first tenure with an interdenominational Thanksgiving service at the International Convention Center, Oka. At the service, Soludo thanked God and the people of the state for their support and pledged to deliver more democratic dividends in his second term. He also promised inclusive governance, stressing that all residents of the state, regardless of religion, ethnicity, or political affiliation, will be carried along. The ruling All Progressives Grand Alliance has mobilized members from all 326 political wards in the state to attend the inauguration. For more details, please visit the Daily Post newspaper. Shatima Obasanjo, Jonathan expected at Toledo's second time inauguration. On to the last news on newspaper review this morning. Nigerians' food inflation rate rose to 12.12% year-on-year in February 2026, reversing the single-digit level recorded in January and signaling renewed pressure on household food costs. Data from the Consumer Price Index report released by the National Bureau of Statistics on Monday showed that the indicator increased from 8.89% in January 2026 to 12.12% in February, representing a rise of 3.23 percentage points. The February figure pushed food inflation back into double-digit territory after January's sharp showdown, which had marked the first single-digit reading in more than a decade. Despite the increase from the previous month, the latest figure remains significantly lower than the level recorded a year earlier. According to the NBS report, the food inflation rate in February 2026 was 12.12% on a year-on-year basis, and that was 14.80 percentage points lower compared to the rate recorded in February 2025, 26.98%. On a month-on-month basis, food prices rose by 4.69% in February, reflecting a resurgence in short-term price pressures across food market. The Statistics Office attributed the increase to rising prices of several staple items across the country. The report stated that the surge was attributed to the rate of increase in the average prices of beans, carrot or cassie leaf, cassava tuber, crayfish, millet flour, yam flour, snails, Avenger ogbono akpon, dried ungrinded, cowpeas, and the likes. Farmers explained that the high cost of inputs drove the rise in the prices of food, as they called for intervention from the government to curb the spike in food prices across the country. This news was sourced from the newspaper. Food inflation hit 12.12% as input cost soared. To bring the newspaper review to a close this morning, here is the recap of headlines. Federal government activates evacuation plan as Middle East crisis worsens. Maiduguri bombings. Police confirm 23 dead, 108 injured. Kwakwanso condemns Maiduguri bombings, urges action against terrorists. Shatima Obasanjo, Jonathan expected at Toledo's second time inauguration. Food inflation hit 12.12% as input costs soared. With that, we've come to the end of Newspaper Review. Thank you very much for listening. You can download Carnival Media app or Google Play Store on our iOS. You can also check out our website at www.carnivalmedia.ng. My name remains Jesse Voyokola. Good morning and please do well to enjoy the rest of your day.